Welcome to a new video. I'm just gonna make a quick video for TheGamerUrSo. He's doing different things, he's received some help, but he's doing some night type of lighting for his level using a universal pipeline or default random pipeline to be more specific. So I'm going to show you the mindset that goes into doing lighting. So most of you are doing probably baked or something like that, but I wanted to show not necessarily good lighting, but the process of thinking when you do lighting to get good lighting. This will hopefully be a short video. I've already picked an environment lighting source, which is gradient, so you can get some, you can see that it has some very subtle light in the scene, so it's not 100% dark. Normally I do start with 100% dark, but for speeding up the video I did not. And this is the third renderer, and it's using linear workflow, and you can know that by going into project settings, and you can turn off the use defaults, and you can pick deferred. And you could also, technically speaking, have the pipeline set up correctly if you wanted to. And you can also go to, let's say graphic player, and you can have linear here in color space. It gives a very different look. Okay, so let's say I wanted to have like a night type of lighting for whatever purpose. First thing I will do is look around, and I see a lot of windows, so let's take advantage of that. Put the light, I don't know, let's put it somewhere around here. Okay, and then let's increase the range and the intensity. Maybe spread it out a bit so it covers some area or not. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pick bluish color, range of 15, so I can hit the floor about 9 perhaps. Control D, down here, put a point light, put it around 10, down to 2, increase it to 15, so I get the even more spread on the bounce light for this particular here. And I will move it a little bit so I get the necessary effect I'm looking for. So maybe I'm gonna move it somewhere around here. Then I'm gonna click on this. I might spread it a little bit more, maybe something like this, right? So normally when you bake, you let this light do the baking, and it's trying to do the bounce light, but you don't necessarily get that much control when you do that. So even if you do that, it's good to know that you can place out lights, turn off the shadow, and push your lighting to a different level that's needed. So let's turn on the shadow, right? And then let's just tweak it a little bit more. Okay, something around there maybe. I will copy this, and I will use this window to highlight probably something around this area, but maybe not as far out. And I will make it a bit dimmer, and I will kind of go somewhere that makes sense to do, maybe around here. And I will do the same here. Keep in mind I'm being super fast, and I'm being super non-picky, just to show you very quickly the approach and the mindset of doing this, right? And then I will control S. Now I would look at this one, I would be going, okay, maybe I can try a bit more light. So this is why I don't like environment lighting all the time. You can see it gives this flat look to it. And if I do gradient, it kind of slows down a bit. Normally, again, I will keep it black when I do painting with light, like I'm doing now. And then let's say I wanted to have some contrast, some mood to it. Let's say I have this there. Now that you see, that's too much blue, because let's say this was the main shot or opening shot, or the player starts here. It's too much blue. Like there's the front, there's the middle, and then there's the background. So to break it up a little bit, we can try and add some torchlight, right? So you can see the background in these areas a bit more. And I'm placing them kind of where the torches would be, right? Maybe we have one in every door, so the player knows, you know, things are happening everywhere. Maybe we want to have one in the back here. Personally, I wouldn't do that, because now it becomes too much. It works, but it can be too much. We might be doing like a more dimmer version that could work to emphasize the area a little bit, right? And you might do the same here to emphasize, like maybe there's a candle light or whatever, and you have some light going there, and you might, you know, say, okay, maybe something like this to put some kind of mood to it, right? You might go back to this one and say, okay, it's kind of dark. What happens if you do this? Okay, it doesn't work. And then you might think about this one, so you might pull this one a bit down. You might dim it down a little bit. You might control duplicate, control D. You might push it maybe somewhere around there. You might push it actually further down. Aim it around this area. Try and see how far you can push it. Maybe around there. And you might dim it down like to perhaps 3, maybe even 2, right? You might do the same here. You might duplicate it. You might push it there. You might do the same here. Rotate it, push it around there, duplicate it, and push it around there. Okay, it's not perfect naturally. Copy it, turn that into point light, and make sure that this top area has the lighting it needs. So if I do this, we are making sure that it makes sense that there is some light going on here. Like something around here. Obviously you'll be very much pickier than I am right now, so you might cheat more and you might pull this one a bit more down, might pull this one further down, this one further down, this one further down, right? I might even push this one further down to see if you can get a better form. Right, you might even actually just push it there, so you get this nice little shape to it. You might realize it might be too strong now due to the other light sources. You might dim it down, right? And then you might be okay, that's good enough. Maybe you want to cheat a little bit more, so you go, okay, there's a reason for this. So you put this dim little light at the back, but not too much, right? You might do the same here. You might do the same bounce light idea here, because light bounces, but we're using just real time to teach you very quickly the mindset that you should keep in mind when you're doing this, right? So maybe there's some light bouncing around here, and maybe there's light bouncing around there, and naturally you would probably have little bounce light coming this way, right? So this was just a very quick example of how you can quickly set up the mood and the scene of your lighting. It's not perfect by any means. It's just to teach you the thought process and the mindset that goes into doing it. And doing manual lighting is a very good way of doing it. I obviously would not leave all these blacks in. I would make sure they are somewhat brighter. You could do that if you wanted to. And was just checking quickly that you can also do rendering path deferred here, which I already did, and HDR is also on for that matter. So the next stages would be to fix certain things and obviously fine tune it with post-processing, which would be the next stage, and things like that. Again, this is not a tutorial step by step on how to make good lighting, but the process and the mindset that I want you to keep in mind. And doing real-time lighting is a very good practice to train your eye and to think about where is it that you want light, right? So just a final example again. It's super black here, super black there, right? We might go in and just some tiny details, different places to kind of get the shapes out, right? Now we don't really have a good reason for this light here, so we might have like torchlight somewhere to give a reason for all of this, right? That's it. Hopefully that's useful to show you that in fact there are many lights. Again, I would not have shadow casting on this many light. I would be more thorough, but again, I do offer mentorship, so if you're interested you can contact me and I will be more thorough on one-on-one sessions. So thank you for watching.